Welcome to NFL World, where NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And to begin, we talk ESPN. ESPN has announced that Scott Van Pelt will be the new host for Monday Night Countdown. Now, I think he'll do a great job. He'll do a phenomenal job. But at the same time, it's kind of like we would have never had to do this at all. You guys chose to do that. You guys chose to go get rid of Susie Colbert. You guys chose to get rid of people who actually knew what they were talking about in a situation. This is what came out this morning. ESPN has announced the roster for a new Monday Night Countdown crew. Longtime Sports Center anchor Scott Van Pelt will be joining the team. The network made an announcement ahead of the first broadcast this season on Monday's preseason game between the Ravens and the Commanders. Besides having Van Pelt served on Monday Night Countdown, ESPN has agreed to a multi-year extension with Van Pelt, who joined the network in 2001. The anchor has hosted a nighttime episode of SportsCenter since 2015. Now, again, the interesting thing is the people that they put him with. There's two more newcomers with Scott Van Pelt, Ryan Clark, and Marcus Spears, which we'll get to in a minute. There's three returning people, three ESPN personalities, G3, O'Reilly Griffin III, Adam Schefter, we've all talked about, and Michelle Beisner Buck, along with Alex Smith and Larry Fitzgerald, who will make multiple appearances. Now, here's the problem I have with this. You got rid of people who had done the job well. And in turn, you go and say, Ryan Clark deserves to be there. All right, fine. You, for whatever reason, have this feeling that you need Adam Schefter to be there. Okay, I guess, whatever. But then you put Marcus Spears out there. And you realize, okay, this is just for ratings. This is not for we're trying to talk about football. We're trying to talk about ratings. Which then brings me back to my initial point of you had a ratings draw. Why get rid of them? Why choose that, okay, we're going to go in this direction instead of this direction? You decided that of all the people you have, that Scott Van Pelt's going to be the lead. All right, fine. But you're going to put him with people who aren't designed exactly to fill that understanding in terms of the I wanna see what Ryan Clark will do, but Marcus Spears, it's not like he's ever done something like this on a level of, "Okay, now guide a show." Because that was a shocker, in my opinion. But you asked this is the final thing that was said according to this. They go on and say Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will return for their second year of broadcasting on Monday Night Football, with Lisa Salters being the sideline reporter and officiating expert John Perry. And they put this whole, like, nice little package that the PR department did of Van Pelt as the host, Clark, Robert Griffin III, they put all these guys and Marcus Spears, they put all these guys on there. But here you go, you have people who haven't done anything. And I love the fact that they keep trying to say, well, Adam Schefter, he's a senior insider. Senior insider. He reads stuff off the card. He isn't in the dirt. Now, this also all happened when they laid off in the recent months personalities that were on Monday Night Football. People like veteran host Susie Colbert, Steve Young, Matt Hasselbeck, Keyshawn Johnson, and a bunch of others. I I don't see a situation where you can go and say, this is a better unit than what you had last year. I don't see it. Because at least with last year, you had something. This, I don't know what you have, which could be exciting, but also people might stay away from it because it's the lack thereof of excitement. Next up, on Friday, Thursday or Friday of this past week, it was announced that Shannon Sharpe will be joining ESPN. Well, and First Take, I should say. It then came out that, according to Stephen A., that he hasn't signed quite yet. But this is gonna be a good unit. But the idea of if you're hoping that it goes better on the other side, this is not gonna go well. It just won't. You'll get ratings, you'll get some great ratings and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you're putting someone on television in hope that you can boost your ratings because you can have people scream at each other. It's not ideal. But will they make history? Yes, they will. They'll be really good together. But at what point is the audience gonna say, "Okay, that's enough. We don't care anymore." Moving on to Josh Jacobs, who now this hasn't really been reported, more of it's been this hasn't really been reported, more of the Raiders believe this. It came out this morning that Josh Jacobs is expected to report for the Raiders' Week 1 game against the Broncos. That's the expectation, with 17 days left till the regular season. Now, I don't know what that exactly entails, and does he still wanna be traded? Does he still wanna, like, make sure he's out of there? Excuse me. Or is he done, with the holdout and saying, "You know what? I'm just coming back to work." Because that's the question that has to be answered. But I think if you're a Raiders fan, you have to enjoy this because it wasn't that good. It wasn't good at the running back position besides him, so take what you can get. Next up, and this has happened a lot this year, of players signing contracts and then retiring shortly thereafter. Miles Jack signed with the Eagles, 2 weeks ago and has now decided he's retiring after 7 years. The Eagles did something that they did last year, not at the same time, but they did it where they signed 2 of the same position multiple times. In this case, they signed Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, who are 2 linebackers. Now, Jack is gone. Jack played last year with the Steelers, had a pretty good season, but now he has retired from the Eagles. Next up, Rodgers, according to a report, will make his official Jets debut in the final preseason game on August 26th, which is next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, I should say. And I can't wait to see it. I want to see what Aaron's going to be able to do. But I hope it's better than Hard Knocks, because Hard Knocks has been terrible. It's like watching someone chew gum. It's really weird. You have people who are not exactly talkative talking, and you have people who are never really been in front of a camera before, and it's like kind of like a photo shoot. They don't know what to do. So let's just hope this goes better. Next up, the Cowboys. First off, let's first begin with this. They played Seattle in Seattle this past Saturday. The game started at 10 o'clock. 10. You're gonna play a game at 10 o'clock that's gonna air at 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's absurd. And the game wasn't exactly that good. The commentary was not good. Nothing was good. But the Cowboys did, in fact, lose 2 players. Cowboys rookie standout DeMarvion Overshown tore his ACL. He's done for the year. He was a guy the Cowboys felt was gonna really help their team. He was drafted this year out of Texas, where he played some linebacker, safety. He was differentiating from the 2. He went and was going to make a tackle on. It just went. The whole thing went. The next injury they had was to John Stevens, the backup tight end, who it was gonna be harder for him to make the roster, but you still lose a guy who was somewhat productive. So when you lose 2 guys, young, either they're drafted or undrafted, you lose someone like that to an injury. As much as you say, "We gotta move forward," at the end of the day, you lost 2 people. But you have to look at it from another perspective. That gives other players opportunities to make this team no matter if they thought they had a chance or they did not. I just wanna make sure I have alright. The final thing. Make sure I have it right here. The Patriots, Bill Belichick, he was talking about one of his young players, Isaiah Bolden, who played at Jackson State. It goes and says, Patriots, Bill Belichick gives positive update on Isaiah Bolden after scary collision. The Patriots and Packers had agreed after the injury to cancel the game as cornerback got stretchered off the field. It goes on and says the Patriots have received good news about Isaiah Bolden following Saturday's scary collision. Head coach Bill Belichick provided a crucial update. that the rookie cornerback got to travel back with the team. He flew back with us on Sunday, Belichick said to WEEI Monday morning. I talked to Isaiah on Sunday. He's in good spirits, recovering, obviously. So we're just trying to take it day to day. But it certainly seems a lot better today than it looked Saturday night. So that's the good thing. It's good for him to fly back with the team and everyone see him. He's got a lot of support here. It goes on and says Bolden was injured in the fourth quarter on a 3rd and 7. Bolden tried to make a tackle on wideout Malik Heath and took friendly fire from teammate Calvin Munson. Bolton was hit in the head, fell to the ground, and did not move afterwards. He was stretchered and carted off the field, where both teams decided that that was the final play. Later, the Patriots announced that Bolden had all his feeling in his extremities and was taken to a local hospital for test and observation. And they deemed that he was okay, where they were able to transfer him back. They go on and say Bolden was a 7th-round pick out of Jackson State, and he texted on his social media Sunday morning that he appreciates the prayers, the people that sent him prayers, and that he's more excited to be back with the guys. It just tells you, this game is very dangerous. Anyone who says that is a lie, who doesn't say anything like that, it's a lie. It's a dangerous sport. These people know what they're doing. At the end of the day, though, they are kids, and they are making a very aggressive sacrifice to go for your enjoyment. At the same time, you gotta understand that these are people. These are not robots. These are human beings. When you get into injury and you start having injuries, especially severe injuries when you can't feel your extremities and stuff, that's dangerous. The hope is that Isaiah Bolden can get back on the field and be okay, but also that something like this does not happen during the season after what happened last year with DeMar Hamlin, where everyone had to basically stop and say, we don't control what's going on. The hope is that doesn't happen this year. The hope is that we don't have to worry about that again, that we are prepared. But right now, you have to hope that, okay, continue your prayers to Isaiah Bolden and to his family, and hope that it doesn't happen in the NFL this year where we have a serious injury and we have to cancel a game because we are afraid of what happened to the player. The hope is, if you're Isaiah Bolden, like it was obviously it could not have been prevented. It happened, but at the end of the day, you have to be as safe as possible. For NFL World, I'm Jacob Hubert. Out.